I had already decided I was done. The papers were printed, the appointment was scheduled. I was about to file for divorce. Then I overheard my wife talking behind my back, and everything I thought I knew about my marriage cracked wide open. Before I continue, please subscribe to this channel if you enjoy real-life relationship stories told honestly. Your support helps these stories reach people who might need them. My name is Michael. I'm 45 years old, married for almost 15 years. From the outside, our life looked fine. 2 steady incomes, a decent home, no loud fights, no big scandals, just quiet distance. And that distance is what pushed me toward divorce. My wife Laura and I had slowly stopped talking, not arguing, just talking. Conversations turned into schedules. Did you pay the bill? What time is dinner? I'll be late. We slept in the same bed but lived in different worlds. I tried bringing it up. I told her I felt lonely. She said she was tired. I said I missed us. She said life was busy. Every conversation ended the same way, no fight, no solution. After months of feeling invisible, I gave up. I didn't tell her I was planning to file. I didn't want another long talk that led nowhere. I told myself I deserved peace, even if that meant being alone. The night everything changed was completely ordinary. I came home early from work. I didn't announce myself. The house was quiet. I set my keys down and walked toward the kitchen. That's when I heard her voice. She was in the living room on the phone. At first, I didn't listen. I wasn't trying to spy, but then I heard my name. I don't think he knows, she said softly. I stopped. He thinks I don't care anymore, she continued, but I'm scared to say anything. My heart started racing. She wasn't angry, she wasn't mocking me, she sounded broken. She said, every time I try to talk, I freeze. I don't know how to explain how much I'm hurting. I leaned against the wall, barely breathing. She talked about feeling like she was failing as a wife, about worrying that I had already checked out, about being afraid that if she admitted how lost she felt, I would leave. Then she said the sentence that hit me hardest. I still love him, I just don't know how to reach him anymore. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. This wasn't the story I had been telling myself. In my head, she didn't care, she had moved on emotionally, she was fine without me. But the woman on that phone sounded just as lonely as I was. She ended the call a few minutes later. I stepped outside before she noticed me, my mind spinning. That night I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I needed time to process what I heard. The next morning, I looked at the divorce papers sitting in my bag. They felt heavier. I realized something uncomfortable. We weren't disconnected because love was gone. We were disconnected because both of us were scared to speak honestly. I had assumed silence meant indifference. She had assumed silence meant rejection. That day, I canceled my appointment. Not because everything was suddenly fixed, but because I realized I was about to end a marriage based on assumptions. That evening, I told her I wanted to talk. She looked nervous, defensive, like she expected criticism. Instead, I said, I overheard you last night. Her face went pale. I'm sorry, I said quickly. I wasn't trying to listen, but I heard enough to know I was wrong about a lot of things. She sat down slowly. I told her how close I was to filing for divorce. She cried, not in anger but in fear. I thought you already left me emotionally, she said. I thought you didn't care, I replied. That conversation lasted hours. For the first time in years, we didn't talk around each other, we talked to each other. She told me she felt overwhelmed, anxious, and ashamed for not being the wife she thought she should be. She said every time she tried to open up, she worried she'd disappoint me. I told her I felt unwanted, unnecessary, like I was just part of the routine. Neither of us was wrong. We were just silent. That silence almost ended everything. We didn't magically fix our marriage that night, but we decided to stop pretending. We started therapy, awkward at first, uncomfortable, honest. We learned that distance doesn't always mean loss of love. Sometimes it means fear on both sides. I also learned something important about myself. I was ready to walk away without giving her the chance to tell her story. And she was suffering quietly, thinking I had already made up my mind. If I hadn't come home early that night, I would have filed for divorce the next morning. I would have walked away believing a version of the truth that wasn't complete. We're still married today. Not perfect, not effortless, but aware. We talk now even when it's uncomfortable. We don't assume anymore. If you're watching this and you feel invisible in your marriage, I want to say this clearly. Silence doesn't always mean someone doesn't care. Sometimes it means they're afraid to say the wrong thing. Sometimes it means they're hurting just as much as you are. Before you walk away, ask one more question. Before you assume the worst, listen a little longer. I was about to file for divorce. Then I overheard my wife talking behind my back. And I realized we weren't strangers, we were just two people waiting for the other to speak first. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and remember, sometimes the truth you need isn't hidden, it's just quiet.